Having a fast and high performance website should matter to all of us, and it certainly should matter to you. It definitely matters to me. And in this video, we're going to do two things. Number one, we're going to test this new update that Divi just released to see if the performance has improved. They announced a new update today. It's supposed to make your Divi builder websites load faster. So number one, we're going to test that. But number two, and this will apply to anyone, no matter what website tools you're using, page builder, theme, plugin set, it doesn't matter what you're using. The rest of the video is going to apply to you because I'm going to apply my performance stack onto this site to see if we can get the scores to improve. And so essentially you're going to learn how to increase the performance of your website regardless of the builder, the theme, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to learn exactly how to do that, exactly how I do it in this video. Hey, if very useful videos like this matter to you right now, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click onto that notification bell. Let's get started. This is going to be a really fun one. So here we are on the Elegant Themes blog post announcing this new update. And essentially it's a performance focused update. And right here is some claims. And this is going to be a your mileage may vary. Obviously, they're claiming that it's reducing the load times by up to 60% in most cases. I almost wish they wouldn't say most cases because it's not going to be most cases. Your mileage may vary. Everybody's website's different. Everybody's pages on their websites are compiled and assembled and look different. Different lengths, different modules, such a different combination of things that you could be using. So don't be disappointed when you try this and you don't get this performance improvement. And I certainly didn't get that improvement, but we're going to test it right now live together. So it definitely depends on how you have your environment set up. But they're claiming they're doing some things to reduce the load time by 60% and how they tested it. And here is some screenshots of what they did and the results. So here is a website. I have the version of Divi just prior to this release. So if I go to themes, you're going to see Divi's the active theme, and it's version 3.23. Version 3.24 is the one with the performance improvements, and you can see it's already telling me there's an update available. So I have a plugin installed called Cart Flows, which makes sales funnels on your website, and we're using a Divi design for that. And so here is the page I'm going to be testing. So if I click on edit right here, you can see this is built with the Divi builder. Now while that's loading, right here's the front end. This is exactly what the page is going to look like. It has a good mix of images, textures, using a variety of Divi modules. It's not the longest page, but it's probably a typical page, maybe right about average in size for a particular page. So I'm going to take this link right here and put it in the clipboard, and let's just go ahead and do a quick test right here. Now I'm testing this on GT metrics. So in theory, anyone should be able to take a copy of Cart Flows, install this Divi-based sales funnel using the same exact template, and get the same exact results. Okay, obviously my hosting is different than your hosting though, so there might be some performance differences, but this is what the page looks like right here. All the different modules and the text and all that's assembled. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working with. This is the link, and this is what GT Metrics is saying on the old version of Divi. So what we have going on here is 2.7 seconds load time, 758 KB, and 52 requests. So now what I'm going to do is update the theme, and then we're going to test it right here, and then we'll be able to compare the two, but then I'm going to see how much I can improve it with my performance stack. So let me go ahead and update the theme really quick, and we will do a brand new test. So I'm going to drag and drop it right here and do an install now. Now, I don't doubt that there has been many pages that they've tested this on and they got a really good result, but we're going to see what the result is here on this particular page. Okay, so now we can see I'm on 2.4 or 3.24, and let me just do a quick refresh of the page. So now this is on the newer version of Divi. Okay, so why don't I go here, pop the URL in, click on Analyze, and we'll see what this is doing. And then we're going to start we're going to start adding my performance stack to this site to see how much we can get it to improve. Okay, and here it is, it's pulling up. And so we are actually seeing an improvement of the fully loaded time, and there's not really an improvement of the page size or the requests. So when I go here, you can see, wow, there is a nice improvement. Now, it doesn't improve any of these performance scores, and these are just arbitrary numbers, but I gotta say, it is loading quicker. Now, we could test this 10 times and there's going to be a fluctuation in this number. Really what you want is a reduction of total page size and total requests. But gotta hand it to you, Divi. This is good, but I think we can do better. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply my performance stack, and there's different stages, and you can decide how many stages you want to apply and what you want to do. Now, there's some of these plugins are paid plugins, but there's free alternatives. So I'll be doing it with the paid plugin because that's what I personally use, but I'm also gonna make sure that I let you know what the free alternative is. Typically, the way it works is the professional plugin will be one plugin, and to get that same functionality, you might require like 5 free plugins. So it's up to you what you want to do. I prefer just to have the one personally. Now, there's different stages of what we're going to do, and you can get different improvements out of each one, so you can decide how far you want to go. So we're going to start with the easy wins first. The first thing is you need to make sure your website is running on quality hosting. This test was done with this site right here, and we're going to do all these improvements. I'm using Cloudways. I'm using a Cloudways server. I have a full tutorial on this. I'll put down below. It's a little different than shared hosting. It's a very good tool or a service, and I have, I think, like a 10% off coupon I could put down there for anybody interesting. Now, if you want shared hosting, quality shared hosting is going to be SiteGround. Visit WPCrafter.com/SiteGround. SiteGround has very high quality shared hosting, and it's some of the highest quality shared hosting that I've ever come across, and it's a very attractive price point for sure. So if you're using GoDaddy or HostMonster or some of these iPage and some of these random companies, you're just going to have bad service. But SiteGround is pretty much the same price, maybe marginally more expensive. Okay, so your first quick and easy win is to just get better hosting. Okay, and it doesn't have to cost a fortune. Okay, the next easy win is going to do with your images. So we can see right here, and this is the optimized version, the latest version of Divi. You're going to see this probably on most websites, this serve scaled images right here. So this is an easy fix, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to use Short Pixel. Now, Short Pixel has there are 2 plugins, but the one that we need to use is a brand new plugin that they released where it will basically serve up the image in the appropriate size based upon the device someone is visiting your website on. It's a very easy win. So let's go ahead and add that now. Now, actually, let me tell you before I move on, I'll put a link down below and it'll be on the screen right now to Short Pixel. There's a really good deal going on for a lifetime account. It's like $40, and you can optimize 12,000 images per month for life, and it includes this serve scale image fix. So if that interests you. So I'm going to go to plugins, add new. Now, if I go right here and I do a search for Short Pixel right here, there's going to be 2 plugins that pull up. So there's the image optimizer, but here's the new one. It's called Adaptive Images, and this is the one that we need to install in order to fix that served scale images. So I'll click on install right now, and I'll click on activate. So now what I need to do is take the URL of this website and log into my Short Pixel account and add the URL so then it will start working. Okay, now I am logged in and you can see the allocation that I have on my account is 17,000 images per month. But if you visited that link, it's 12,000 per month and you could double it or triple it. I have 17,000 images per month and you can see what I've used and you can see what's remaining and how many days left in the month right there. But what I need to do is go to associated domains and I need to paste that in, but I should just get rid of the landing page so it'll just work on the full domain like that. Click on add domains and there you go. We could see it right there. So here's some of the websites for testing that I've put it on, and you can see here it is, the speed test one and that I just added. So, okay. That is done. So now what happens is when someone visits this page, it's going to take these images and it's going to send them off to Short Pixel, optimize them, and now whenever someone visits the website, it's going to show the right size for each image. There are some settings that come with the plugin. So it's right here, Short Pixel AI, where I could choose the amount of compression. So for me, I usually prefer glossy with them versus lossy. Now there's 3 different settings and this is how compressed these images become. So I'm going to click on Save Changes. Now this plugin's also going to serve up your images in an advanced WebP format. That's beyond what I want to talk about in this video, but it also will lazy load the images, and what that does is it makes the website seem faster. And then here we are, there's some other options here to have a little bit more control over what the plugin's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save Changes right there. Now, what's going to happen is we might not see the performance immediately. It might take a few minutes to kick in, but just because, let's go ahead and do a test. So this is going to be our baseline right here. This was the last test that I did. And here was the first one, but I'm just going to do a retest and we're going to see if there's improvements from this to here. But like I said, it might take a minute or 2 for it to kick in. Actually, I think I said 5 minutes. So we'll just do a quick test and see if we have that. Oh, okay. So we already had an improvement where the served scaled images isn't in the red anymore. So you can see right here, served scaled images was giving us an F, and here our served scaled images is not giving us an F anymore. We're going to get this right here, this minimized redirects. We're going to just apply the full performance stack though to see if we can get this better. And you can see the total page size has gone down as well. And like I said, this number right here fluctuates. Okay, so let's continue on. So that was Short Pixel, and that's going to serve up the better quality images. Now the next 2 we're going to apply at the same time. Bunny CDN is to use a content delivery network to deliver the CSS and the JavaScript of your website. And I have a full video on this. The reason I like Bunny CDN is it's super easy to implement and it's dirt cheap. I mean, this is dirt cheap. So if I go to the pricing here, I think for me, it might cost like $1 a month or something like that. You're not going to find a content delivery network this cheap. So essentially what it's going to do is instead, when someone visits your website, instead of your website serving up all of its files, your files will be distributed across the world in their data centers. And so if my web hosting server is in the United States and someone's visiting my website in the UK, it will serve all that stuff up from the UK, cutting down the speed it takes to deliver the website. Anyways, that's what this does. And here we are. So this is actually the back end of Bunny CDN. And let's see, you can see I have a balance of $11. And I've used like 13 cents recently. I don't know, but you can see I use it a lot. So what I need to do is you'll just create an account. And what we need to do is set up what's called the pull zone. This as well might take a little bit of time to fully kick in. So I'm going to click add a pull zone. And then I haven't actually set this up in so long. So here is the URL of my website. So let's go ahead and do that. And right here, this is where I'm going to choose the host name. So let me just put Actually, it's okay. I haven't done this in a while. So let's just call it speed test. There we go. Sometimes I have to refer to my own videos to remember how to do something if I haven't done it in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to click on add pull zone. And so this is, so this actually taken. So let me go ahead and put WPC and then add pull zone. And let's see what happens. Okay, so it looks like it's setting up my pull zone. So now it's telling you how to get your website and this service connected together. And I'm not going to use their WordPress plugin. They have a WordPress plugin. We're going to put this on pause for a second, and we're going to go to that next level of performance, and it's adding a caching solution. So you're going to have two options here. I use, and I keep coming back, I've left them in the past, I broke up with them, and then I got back together with them, is WPRocket. I'm going to use them in this video. There's so many free alternatives. I'm going to explain why I like WPRocket though, and once you see it, then maybe you might agree that it might be something that you want to look at yourself. However, it's a paid plugin. There's tons of free ones. So before this, I was using Breeze. A lot of people use Swift Performance, which is free. I don't like the free version of Swift Performance because it puts a lot of ads in the back end of your WordPress website. That's why I've never made a video on it, and I probably won't. I just don't like that they put ads back there. But a lot of people have had some good success with this plugin, and it's hard to argue with its benefited people. You have to be careful with its settings. So this is one, but there's got to be like a dozen caching plugins that are free. However, I'm going to use WPRocket in this video. Now, what this does is it has a feature called critical CSS. I'm going to enable that, and you're going to see how much faster the website feels. And that's why I use WPRocket, is because of this one feature. But the reason I'm not connecting the CDN in via the plugin is because I can take the CDN, and WPRocket can take care of it all for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is install WPRocket. So I'm going to go to plugins, add new, and I'm going to upload plugins and go right here. So you might just put short pixel in, have a better web host, and put in a CDN, and that might be all the performance that you feel like you need, and that's perfectly fine. So let me go ahead and activate this. Now I need to get that pull zone, and let's see. So if I go back to home, it should give me a list of the pull zone right here that I need to put in. Let me go to pull zones, and let's see. Okay, let me get back into here. It's been a while. Here it is. This is what I'm going to need to copy and paste into WPRocket. All right, so let me get back here. WPRocket's installed, and WPRocket is activated. So I'll go to the settings. It puts the settings underneath settings, and I like that. One of the criticisms that I've seen come their way before is that they kind of have this branded dashboard. It doesn't bother me. Okay. So here we are. There's a lot of settings right here, and I'm going to go through some of them. Okay, so here's the cache. So this is going to do our caching, and right here we could do separate caching for mobile devices. That's fine. This is caching for logged in users. I don't do that sometimes. It depends. Cache lifespan, that's fine. File optimizations, we can have this minify our HTML. We could do that. Some of these settings you have to enable and then test to see if it breaks something. And that's the same with all caching plugins. Okay, let's see here. We can remove query strings. These are the ones that can definitely cause some issues right here. So I'll try enabling it, and we'll see how it works. I'll minify there. Now, here is the feature that I said I love about WP Rocket. It's optimized CSS delivery. So what this does is it scans the pages of your website and it finds what needs to load first. So when someone's looking right here, it'll find exactly what is needed just for what I'm visually seeing right when the page loads, and it will load that first. So your website will feel a lot quicker just by doing that. It's made a huge difference on my own website. Okay, and we can minimize and we can enable some of these. I'll click on Save Changes. I just need to now do the Content Delivery Network. So that would be right here under Media. And let's see here. Now, because I have Short Pixel, I don't need to enable the lazy load that comes with WP Rocket. Okay, and let's see. Nope, CDN, that's what I needed right here. Okay, enable Content Delivery Network, and this right here is where I'm going to paste in my Bunny CDN URL right there. And I'll do a quick Save Changes. And there's a few other options here. Now, WP Rocket also has their own image optimization plugin and service. I like Short Pixels better because it solves that problem of serving scaled images. Okay, so that's good for me. And you can see right here, it's letting me know that it's generating that critical CSS thing. So let me go ahead and get rid of these notices. And I'm going to do a refresh on the front end, just so it should generate the cache. And here was my baseline. And here was the one that I'm making the improvements on. Let's just do a quick retest. Hopefully it's improving. Now it's going to probably take a little bit of time as well for the CDN to kick in. So usually when the first time you visit that page, it's going to send all that stuff over to the CDN. Okay, so we're already seeing improvements, and we have right here, some of these scores have gone up, the page size has gone down, and the requests have gone down, and there's none of those red marks that we were having here, and it's pretty good. Now, this number probably is not accurate, and that's because a lot of things are now happening because I just installed these plugins, so this should go down as we continue on. Okay, so we did that. We did our caching. And like I said, don't feel left out if you don't have a budget for a caching plugin. There's like 24 free ones. I just prefer this one because of that critical CSS file. Now we're going to go higher level. And there's lots of granular improvements that we can do, and there's lots of performance plugins to do it. I like to use this plugin called Perf Matters. Now, Perf Matters is going to let me control a bunch of different things. There's a lot of little optimization settings, but there's also something that it does that allows me to control what gets loaded on each individual page, and it's very easy to set up. There's an alternative though. So one of them is this. It's called Asset Cleanup. I'm not going to use this in this video. I have cracked it open. It's a lot more complicated to use, but it's one of those things, once you wrap your mind around it, I'm sure you're going to be fine. I just prefer Perf Matters because it's so stinking easy. Perf Matters also costs money. It's not that much money though. It's 25 bucks for a site. I'll have a link down below, and I should see about trying to get a discount for that. Let me show you what Perf Matters does. Okay, so I'm going to go to Plugins, Add New, and I'll upload this. It's right here, and I'll install it now. This is where you're probably going to get some major bang for the buck for the performance on this site. So there we go. Let me show this to you. I do need to do a full video on Perf Matters. So it's going to have these various tabs and various options here. So it's another thing where you'd want to turn it on and test and make sure there's no problems. So I already know a lot of these I'm just going to want to enable, but if you run into any problems, you are going to want to test the front end just to make sure. REST API, we'll leave that. And I'm just enabling these. And some of these are just usability improvements as well for your website. This one actually broke my website once on an update, this remove comment URLs. That caused a problem for me once. Okay, so disable heartbeat, we'll leave that on. Now here's interesting, this site has WooCommerce and there's some WooCommerce improvements right here that I'm gonna turn on. So let me just do a quick save changes. Okay, CDN, we're doing the CDN with WP Rocket, so we don't need to use it here. If you're using Google Analytics, and you should be, this is a really good setting right here to make it cached on your local site. Okay, we have some extras right here, and this is the one I want to enable. It's called the Script Manager. This is really why I use this plugin. All these other settings you saw here under options, there's free alternatives that can get you all of those, and there's a lot of free alternatives. I'll try to compile a list and put them down below. Okay, so let me enable this thing right here, this Script Manager. So what this does is for every page that you're on, let me go to the front end, it's going to add a new option called Script Manager. Now when I click on Script Manager, it's going to show me a list of everything that is being loaded on this page and give me an option to have it not load. You might not realize this, but some of the plugins on your website load files on pages where they're not even being used. So if you have contact form 7, it loads something on every page even if there's no contact form. Gravity Forms does the same thing. You're using Lifter LMS, it does the same thing. It loads stuff on every single page, and you might want granular control for performance. Okay, so we need my cart flow stuff here. We need this. We need this. We probably need this Divi stuff right here. I don't have a lot of plugins installed on this website, so that's why it's already pretty lean. But what you can do is you can test if you need to load certain things on these various pages. So if this was a normal website, there's a lot of things I would want to turn off. And I have used this extensively on my website. Okay, so let me go ahead and close the Script Manager. I'm going to get back here. And let's just do a quick performance test right here. So I'll do a retest. Let's see if we got some improvements. I'm sure we did get some improvements, especially by enabling some of those WooCommerce options. And like I said, there's a free plugin for that, but it's a suite of plugins. You need to have like 3 or 4 plugins that you install. Okay, so now my scores have gone up again. So let's get a frame of reference. This right here was the performance after putting the latest version of Divi. You can see these scores, but really look at this page size and the request size. That is where you're going to want to pay most attention to. So we've cut this down and we've cut this down. So you can see here, we've got the page size down to 375. We have our requests down to 29, and we've got great scores across the board. And, you know, there's probably some further things we could do. If we went to this waterfall tab, we could see what is loading, and we could see if we want to further improve it. A lot of it you can see here is image. So all of these images right here, and you can see they're being served up by Short Pixel. And then you can see these files here where it says WPC speed test. These are all being served up by the Bunny CDN. What we have here is something that's really fast. Now, let me just do one more test. And I think we're pretty much done here with what I'm going to be able to do on this site without really digging any deeper. So you saw all the levels of performance. The first one is to make sure you have good hosting. That got us some improvements. The next one was to have image optimization using Bunny CDN. And I'm sorry, not Bunny CDN, Short Pixel. And that gave us a big improvement. Then we added caching. Then we added a content delivery network. Then we added Perf Matters. There's so many different plugins, but it's actually not that much, right? So if I was to go back here and I went to plugins, you can see I really only have a couple active plugins. I have Cart Flows, and I have Perf Matters, Short Pixel, and here's my WooCommerce stuff in WP Rocket. I didn't really add many plugins in order to get this much performance improvement, but you can see it's pretty drastic to cut the page size down in half, to cut the requests down in half, just by adding a few plugins. So now here's the thing. I know that not everybody has a budget to buy these plugins, even though they're not that expensive. Short Pixel through the link's going to get you $39 a lifetime account, and you can put it on as many websites as you want. You just get 12,000 image optimizations per month. So that's Short Pixel. Very easy win. Good hosting. There's many affordable options. I did Bunny CDN. It will cost you like $1 a month, if that. You add it to all your websites, you might spend $3 per month. And it's huge. The improvements that would give you is huge. If you want to go further, add a caching plugin. Tons of free ones. I showed you a free one, as a matter of fact, or get a paid one. I like that critical CSS feature. I need to talk about that more. Then if you want to go even further, use that free asset cleanup plugin, or use Perf Matters. Like, it's my preference. I just like the UI of it better. It's a personal preference. You can totally get away with using the free one. So there's options for everybody here in this video of how to easily improve the speed of your website. If you have questions about anything that I covered in this video, feel free to ask me down below. I will do my best to help you solve any speed problem with your particular website. Now, I use Divi. It's going to be fine with all these different page builders. If anyone's telling you this is better than that one because of this reason, it's all kind of smoke and mirrors. You could take any website tools and make it perform really great. And you're going to have to do these same things for all of the websites anyways. So I just wanted to add that. Hey, if you found any value in this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Remember, subscribe, click on that notification bell. I hope you found some value out of this video. I'll see you in the next one.